Now, the audience in, Willacoochee, Georgia was like, yo, what the Three Strikes do, man?
When I think about Three Strikes, with you on the cover, center cover, presented as if like, yo, this is the next guy. This is the next star. He's gonna like, after that, what kind of, were you still on a roll, or did things kind of transition, slow down? When did you notice things slowed down for you in this space in terms of being in front of the camera?
I think that's the thing for me. I didn't notice because I was doing my own thing. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, you know what I mean? Because the higher my stock with studios and mainstream films, the higher my stock is with my independent films. So I'm not saying that's a good thing, but I was focused on what I do, so I didn't notice, right? It's because I was doing what I do. Now, the audience in, Willacoochee, Georgia was like, yo, what the Three Strikes do, man? Like, I thought, you know what I'm saying? And so he noticed, but I didn't notice. And I should have put more emphasis on balancing that, even if this is my goal as a business person, because this raised my stock. But that's not where I was at that time. And then I look back and, and then folks will say, man, where you been? What you been doing, man? I haven't seen you. And I was like, yo, I did 3 films and I made a lot of money doing them. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, nah, bruh. We want to see you, man. You know what I mean? I need to see you. And so, and that's just something, that's just part of the journey and part of the learning experience, man. But, and again, and it's often that's attributed also to it. Are you hanging out? Are you out there? Are you in the circles? Are, you partying? Because at the end of the day, man, like for you, if me and you're going to give your friend or someone you hang out and run around with a job with you before you are a stranger.
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? You guys work together, so if something came up and there's some next level stuff, or they said we need one more person, you're going to choose someone who you hang with and who you know. You're not going to choose John Doe who you've never met. So when they're doing these projects and they're like, so should I choose John Doe or Brian? And John Doe I run with all the time. Well, I'm choosing John Doe, right? And so that's not confusing to me. Like, people work with and help people who they know in their circle and their friends. And I was in none of those circles, you know what I mean? So, if it were like, if it was folks who I vibe with, then great. But again, I'm not going somewhere and pretending to be somebody I'm not, 2.5 hours just to appease anyone or whatever.
Couple more questions. As far as Eve would be a moment in your career as well. Where, like, did that hit at the right time for you? How did that impact maybe what you were doing at that current moment?
That's the great thing about being independent and me sort of steering my own ship. There was never, a conflict because I was in control of the independent things I was doing. So if something came up, I could stop, go do that, and then start back or work around that schedule because I make the other schedule. But Eve, man, that was an amazing time. And, and again, like I said before, that was when I was making a ton of money for just like showing up and showing out, bro. And we would go over to that Gower lot and I was put my PlayStation on and I would be playing games and shooting this shit for like, if we were there 10 hours, I'd be shooting this shit for maybe 8.5 of them, and we worked 1.5. So it was an amazing time, and that, I don't think I was comfortable. And again, I should have done more to leverage that exposure towards, my independent and the things I was doing, but I was comfortable. And I was growing, and it was part of the journey and learning. But Eve hit at an amazing time, and it was a great 3 years.